Today I'll be making this huge aquarium into a terrarium for my ants. I started off by giving it a good wash because this thing was very dirty and it was pretty cheap actually. It was like $20 for this huge thing. It's a 222 liter aquarium. So now I'm gonna start the build, but first here it is compared to my old terrarium. And the old terrarium compared to my ant colonies. So this will be a fun experiment and a lot of different things will happen while I build this. I had a few different options to go by and I went for this one, the third one. It's like 3 islands, a small one in the middle and medium one to the right and a bigger one to the left. I really like this option, so stay tuned to see how it goes. And I will also make like bridges from each island. My original idea was to like take a colony on each of the rings and then they could just meet in the middle, like 2 colonies of the same species, and they could just merge. And here I've made the 3 rings. You can see like how big they are. I haven't siliconed them to the bottom yet, but you'll see how it goes later when I silicone them. And I'm also gonna have rocks around them so you don't see the metal because it doesn't look very good. And they're pretty big and there is enough space for 2 ant colonies as I originally planned. I was planning on having a Myrmicaria, I think it was, species. I think that's what they're called. I can't really remember. So now I'm gonna start with the silicone. This is aquarium safe silicone, so it won't harm the ants or anything else in the terrarium. And I also started off by just taking the silicone on the edges so the water don't come in. That was what I originally planned, but yeah. I was gonna cover them up with rocks, either by siliconing them to the middle part or just stacking them on top of each other. And here you can see them silicone to the bottom. And I'm gonna start by making them now. And I'm gonna start with Lika as a drainage layer. This is where all the water will go if there's too much. I also put a barrier on top of it. Then halfway up with sphagnum moss combined with soil. And then the rest just normal soil for plants and just used for the garden. And now for the fun part, I'm gonna choose what plants will go where. And I lost all the footage from putting them in. And I didn't film the rocks because it's so boring. Here you can see the wood piece that I put here and how it looks from behind. I didn't really do that much of the rocks behind because that's not the part that you will actually see. I just put them there, why not? And I also didn't really use too much moss. I used a lot, but not too much. And now, for the scariest part of the entire thing, I'm gonna be filling this entire thing up with water. But first, I have to defrost this water hose because it froze because it's -6 degrees Celsius outside. And now it's defrosted and I will start. First, I just put a little bit of water in it, so I'm checking for leaks, just in case. And here you can see me filling it up, being scared as hell, because I don't know if it's gonna leak into the rings. I didn't know at that time, for sure. So I was like checking every 10 seconds if there's any water going out anywhere or into the rings. And instantly I didn't really see anything happening. So yeah, I just kept filling it up. And I really liked how it looked. It was pretty cool. And yeah, I just finished filling it up with water right here, I think. Yep. And there is a lot of debris floating around everywhere. You can see it pretty easily. So I had to like just take them out one by one. The big pieces and the small one, I just took them out with like those things that you use for fish to like take out their dirt and stuff floating around. I forgot what they're called. And yeah, I placed this piece of tape right here to see if the water will go down and into the rings maybe. And about like 10 minutes have passed right now, and I'm back. And the entire thing has just flooded. Like, you can see a lot of water in here and even more here. So I'll have to remake this entire thing all over again. And the entire plant has just changed. I'm gonna make the entire thing a terrarium. No water, just dirt and plants and moss. Just a regular huge terrarium. And I had to take everything out except the rings, like the water and the stones and all the debris floating around. And I placed this layer of leca, small balls that are often used in the garden. And you can see this lightsaber thing sticking out right here. It's just so all the water will go to that corner right there. And now I'm gonna place a barrier for the drainage layer so that it doesn't mix with the dirt. And if it does, that will just be completely useless. This is what I mentioned it earlier. This is where all of the water would go. And yeah, now I have placed it. It's not perfect, but the barrier from the rings will also come out and cover up these small holes. And now I have dirt around it, so it will just merge with the rings basically when I remove them. I really hope now that my mother doesn't check how much dirt she have left, because I used up everything. And yeah, also all the leca balls. It's pretty much the same amount of dirt that I have in my other terrarium, at least the height. It's a lot more, but same height. And now I'm gonna start removing the rings. I also stacked up all the moss into one spot when I was removing the rings. I started off by taking away the middle one. I'm not sure why, but I just took the middle one. And I was just hoping for it to go well. This is what it looked like. This plant right here, the one in the right, it got absolutely shredded when I tried to remove it. And now I have removed the middle one, and I'm gonna start off by stacking all the moss from the second one too, and also remove the second ring. So yeah, now I'm just flattening it down, collecting all the moss, and so it looks better now. And while I'm doing this, I was like, it was supposed to be like half water, half dirt, and now it's completely different. So yeah, I removed the third ring. The plant just have like 10 leaves left. Here you can see how it's done. I placed all the moss as I wanted it, and 2 pieces of wood. I placed most of the moss in the back because that just looks way better. And a piece of bark right here between the 2 pieces of wood. And I also moved one of the plants slightly forward. This plant right here, kind of lost half of it. I broke. And then we have this one. I hope it just grows up there. So yeah, now I have all of the... I broke that piece off accidentally. And then we have this bamboo looking plant almost reaching the top. I'll have to cut it off soon when I put the ants in. Then we move on to this plant right here. It's small, but it's doing well. It started to get another piece right here. It looks very good, at least now. And then we have this one, the shredded one. Like, it lost so many leaves. It looks kind of bald right now. And I do still like how it looks, but hopefully it just gets new leaves soon. So here I also placed this rock. It kind of got covered with dirt. I took it out from the smaller terrarium. And also this flat rock right here. These will be as food places where I'll put their food on. And here is how it looks. It's very... I really liked how it looked. It was sick. It was just so big. I could literally just fit in it. Here you can also see a few mealworms that I placed in, so there's at least something living there. I also placed some isopods here and there, but they're not that much out. But yeah, thanks for watching. This was an absolutely insane video and I was really happy to make it.